Call the regular city council meeting Monday, August 12th, 2013 to order. Clerk, call the roll, please.
Alderman Putoff.
Here.
Ferrari.
Here.
Waldorf. Here. Lukosius. Perez. Here. Radke. Mueller.
Here.
Sapienza.
Here.
Mayor Harrell.
Here. Please rise for Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, we have a presentation here. Recognition for 20 years of service for Alderman Frank Sadowski, and recognition for 20 years of service for Alderman Jack O'Byrne.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, we'd like to recognize Frank Sadowski. Frank Sadowski served as alderman from 1967 to 1971, and then again as alderman from 1987 to 2003. Frank's wife, Mary, and family are with us tonight to celebrate Frank's 20 years of service to the city of Peru. Alderman Sadowski served the city during some interesting and controversial times. Alderman Sadowski served on the Electric Committee and as a board president for the IMEA, which is the Illinois Municipal Electric Agency. He was involved in the Louisville Gas and Electric Company transaction and the Trimble County coal-fired electric plant. Mary tells me that Alderman Sadowski was particularly proud of his involvement in the building of the hydroelectric plant at Starved Rock Lock and Dam. Alderman Sadowski served when utilities were being extended to North Peru to serve the Peru Mall. Alderman Sadowski served on a committee for the Abraham Lincoln Bridge. Alderman Sadowski served during the formation of the Peru Ambulance Service and its building. Mary also mentioned she is grateful to other aldermen and all the city employees, noting specifically Roger Chamlin, Tim Parra, Joe Prazen, and Don Kowalczyk. Mary asked me to extend a special thank you to Jack O'Byrne and Joe McKiska for all the pickups at Frank's home to get him to and from meetings and other events while his health was failing. At this time, I'd like to ask Mary Sadowski and her family to come forward as we present her with a bronze plaque that will be displayed here in the municipal building, recognizing her husband, Frank Sadowski, for his 20 years of service as alderman for the city of Peru. Would you like to say anything?
Yes, thanks to everybody, and this is a wonderful evening, and thank you for making it possible. And of course, to Jeff, I think you said it very nicely. It's, God doesn't mind me, that's why I'm so loud. I have one thing to say. I'm Frank's daughter, Pat. I'm the middle. I have an older brother and a young brother. But what I'd like to say is my father has three loves: God, his family, and the city of Peru. And I'm really thrilled that this is going to be here forever. Because God loves the city of Peru. And God loves the city of Peru. You know that? You know that the city of Peru was his favorite thing. He was the proudest Peruvian ever. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'd like to recognize Jack O'Byrne. Jack served as an alderman for the city of Peru from 1987 to 2011 continuously. Jack's wife, Joanne, and family are here with us tonight to celebrate Jack's 24 years of service to the city of Peru. Alderman Jack O'Byrne is proud to have served as the chairman of the Water and Sewer Committee. Over Jack's 24 years of service, he has many highlights. The building of the new water treatment plant on North Peoria Street, the building of the new West Wastewater Treatment Facility, the expansion of the East Wastewater Treatment Facility, the building of the Mirror Building, and the major improvements as part of the downtown redevelopment plan, the building of the Peru Ambulance Building, the building of the Baker Lake Park and recreational area, the building of Veterans Park. Alderman O'Byrne, like Alderman Sadowski, is very proud of the building of the hydroelectric facility. During Jack's many terms, he oversaw the industrial expansion north of I-80 and the purchase of what is now known as the Peru Rail. Well, clearly Alderman O'Byrne definitely served during a time of amazing growth and change for the city of Peru. When I have visited with Jack, he's told me that it was a great privilege to serve the citizens of Peru, and he has many wonderful memories. Jack particularly enjoyed the camaraderie of his fellow aldermen. He remembers fondly his trips to Kentucky for the Electric Committee with Alderman Sadowski and going to Chamber of Commerce annual dinners singing We're All for Peru, led by Bob Ankiewicz. At this time, well, there are many more things that I could share with you about Jack's term. There's a lot of listed items that we could discuss, but at this time I'd like to ask Alderman Jack O'Byrne and his wife and family to come forward as we present him with a bronze plaque that will be displayed here in the municipal building to recognize him for his 24 years of service as an alderman for the city of Peru.
You might also mention, Dave, that historically he's one of the largest vote getters ever, every time he ran in the history of the city.
Yes, I would. I'd like to thank the voters of the Second Ward who allowed me to serve them as their alderman for 24 years. It was an honor and a privilege to do so. And several years ago, Bruce celebrated the 175th birthday. And I believe, I was so personally, I believe that I served on 24 of the most important years of the nation. And I recognize
Yeah, I just wanted to say a second that I had fortune and honor to serve with both Jack and Frank, and both of them had tremendous pride in the city of Peru, and they also had tremendous pride in representing both the residents of the city of Peru. So, I mean, I'm very grateful for the time that they spent with the city. Both had a great sense of humor. We're always had a joke or two to tell to kind of take the levity off things at times, and certainly they were both an asset to our city of Peru. Thank you.
I would also like to say that I served under both of them gentlemen. And Frank Sadowski, I met Frank when I worked for Lambert Jones Motors, and he was my inspiration on where I'm sitting today. And I've known Jack and his family since I was a little kid. I used to walk the mail route with Jack, and it was an honor to serve with both of them gentlemen.
Okay, in the agenda, it was listed 20 years. I apologize, I read that, but you're 24, Jack. And I think the reason it's stated that way in the agenda is because, as you know, the ordinance states that the only way you can have a plaque on the wall out in the hallway is if you have 20 years or more of service. So the 24 years, and Alderman Sadowski and Alderman O'Byrne will be on the wall outside with a 23-year Alderman Steve Urban, and 27-year Alderman Ed Urban, and 48 years is Alderman and Treasurer Clement C. Wolf. So you're in good company. Thank you for your service to the City of Peru. Okay, do we have any public comment at this time? Okay, do we have a motion to receive the regular meeting minutes of July 29th, 2013 and place on file?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion from Alderman Putoff, second from Alderman Waldorf, to receive the regular meeting minutes of July 29th, 2013 and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we'll move to committee reports. Accounts and Finance, Alderman Putoff, Alderman Radke.
For the council, I'd like to have the disbursements for August 14th of the year 2013. They include $1,009,445.40. I'll make a motion this be placed on file. Bills paid in the usual manner.
Second.
I have a motion from Alderman Putoff, second from Alderman Radke, to receive the disbursements for August 14th, 2013, placed on file, and the bills paid in the usual manner. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Also, Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the expenses for officials to attend the Illinois Municipal League Annual Conference in Chicago, and that is on October 17th to 19th.
Second.
I have a motion from Alderman Putoff, second from Alderman Radke, to approve expenses for officials to attend the Illinois Municipal League Annual Conference in Chicago, October 17th through 19th, 2013. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
Anything else we forgot, Alderman Radke?
No, I think we had Finance Wednesday with us pretty light.
Okay, thank you. That's all, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll move to Public Works. Alderman Waldorf, Alderman Lukosius.
Yes, Your Honor, I have the electric operations report for June 2013. In June, our total kilowatt hours sold was $1,891,434.75. Our total kilowatt hours purchased from the IMEA amounted to $1,547,805.33. The total kilowatt hours generated by this month by at the hydroelectric plant and our Peru generators are $1,684,189, and the purchase power avoided due to the hydro generation was $49,745.94. I would like to make a motion to accept this report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Ferrari, to receive the electric operation report for June 2013, placed on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Next, Your Honor, I have the City of Peru Water and Wastewater Treatment Plants report for June 2013. At our water treatment plant, the total water we produced was 82.4 million gallons. And at our wastewater plants, we treated, at our east plant, 82.1 million gallons, and at our west plant, we treated 35.1 million gallons. I'd like to make a motion that we receive this report and place it on file.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Radke, to receive the water and wastewater treatment plants report for June 2013, placed on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
I'd like to announce, Your Honor, that we will have a Public Works Committee meeting at 10 a.m. on August 19th here in City Hall. Everyone is welcome to attend. And again, that'll be at Monday, 8/19 at 10 a.m. The last thing I have, Your Honor, is, as some of you may have noticed, we've got Plank Road closed for concrete patching in front of the airport, and there's another little patch further down the line. We thought that would take 10 days to complete, and the road would be closed for 10 days, but it looks as if we may get that done in a week. So hopefully we can shorten the inconvenience for people traveling up that way and make that a little easy for them. Gary, Mike, nobody has anything? Okay, that's all from Public Works, Your Honor.
Public Health and Safety, Alderman Ferrari, Alderman Sapienza.
Your Honor, I have a fire report for the pay period ending August 3rd, 2013. The fire department received and responded to 9 fire calls for that pay period, and they also had 1 training session for that pay period for a total of 10. Total payroll ending that period is $3,119.86. I'd like to make a motion to accept this and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
Have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, or by Alderman Sapienza, second by Alderman Ferrari, to receive the Peru Fire Department report for period ending August 3rd, 2013, placed on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Your Honor, I have the Peru Volunteer Ambulance Service response and report for August of this year, and they responded to 233 patient calls during the month of July. For a total, they also had a total mileage log of 10,047 miles for that month. I'd like to make a motion to accept the report and place it on file.
Second, Your Honor.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Sapienza. Alderman Sapienza, you meant July 2013?
Yes, Your Honor, July. I'm sorry, I had the wrong number.
For July 2013 and place on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
Your Honor, I'd just like to bring up from the Public Health and Safety and Alderman Sapienza and the council here on the response we've been getting on losing Callie, our K-9 unit. I was on vacation last week, but I was following it on Facebook, and I was just overwhelmed by the response we had here for the celebration at City Hall. And I'd just like to thank everyone. Chief Burnaby, you want to add anything to that?
Well, I think you actually covered it. It was just an overwhelming response. We had hundreds and hundreds of people come through, and like I said, there's been thousands contacts in the thousands on Facebook and other social media. It was something that really touched a lot of people, and we're going to move forward. Officer Smith's back at work tonight, and so he's doing well, and, so we'll move forward.
And also, I'd also like to thank the police and fire department for their quick response that evening. I mean, they had a lot of things going on, and they were there within seconds. Now I'd like to make a motion to authorize the replacement of a police vehicle with government bid assistance. This was the vehicle that was wrecked in the accident.
I'll second that.
We have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Sapienza, to authorize the replacement of total police vehicle with governmental bid assistance. Is there any discussion? Roll call vote, clerk call roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf. Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Motion approved.
We probably should mention, Your Honor, that we did talk about that in finance, and the vehicle will be replaced with insurance, and all the equipment in the vehicle will be replaced with insurance, but we just need to have a authorization for the city to seek that bid, so we won't be paying the full cost of a new vehicle on that.
Any chiefs, any other things you need to say? That's all we have.
Chief, do you have any input on a new K-9 unit, or how our officer is doing, when he'll be reporting back, or any update?
On Officer Smith?
No, officer.
Well, Officer Smith returned today. Officer Hayden was released from Loyola. He has to go back for follow-up. Like I said the other day, the report is very positive. The prognosis is good. It's going to be a pretty lengthy recovery, I think, for obvious reasons. So we won't have a K-9 for the next few months, but obviously LaSalle's right next door, and they'll provide mutual aid for us. So we've got that covered, and we've just made some scheduling adjustments to cover the shifts until we get back to full strength.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to public property. Alderman Perez, Alderman Mueller.
Yes, Your Honor. I have the Peru Public Library cash account summary for the period ending July 31st, 2013. Total in all three accounts is $112,063.32. I'd like to make a motion that we receive this report.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
We have a motion by Alderman Mueller, second by Alderman Perez, to receive the Peru Public Library cash account summary for June 2013, placed on file. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Your Honor, this evening, we had a public property meeting, and we discussed some progress that we've been making over at Veterans Park with the dog park, and there are several things that we've been doing up there. We put in a new waste can up there for pets with little bags that people can put their disposals in. We have some new signage up there. We're also going to be putting up there a extended fenced-in area, where it's like a holding area before they go into the dog park. It's like a little 9x7 area or 10x7 where the dogs can, it'll be like a holding, so if there's any dogs waiting to get out or wanting to get out, they can't without having to go through that holding area. So we've been making some little changes up there, and appreciate what Superintendent Bleck's been doing to bring that to fruition for us. So other than that, I have nothing else.
Okay, we'll move to report city attorney, ordinances, resolutions.
Yes, Your Honor. First, grants administrative variance for the Rebholz property located at 3333 Marquette Road. Beaterdine Real Estate located at 3333 Marquette Road, Peru, Illinois, which is Lot 1 in Smith's Northtown subdivision of the City of Peru. Hereby granted the following administrative variances. The maximum area of an accessory structure is increased from not more than 150 square feet to 384, and the maximum ridge height is increased from not more than 12 feet to 16 feet. Administrative variance granted for the sole purpose allowing petitioners to construct a 16 feet by 32 feet utility accessory structure in the southeast portion of the property pursuant to plans and specifications filed in the zoning office.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the ordinance as written and read?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Radke, second by Alderman Waldorf, to approve the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion?
This is an administrative variance?
Yeah, I
Don't-
just want to understand what this.
Don't usually aldermen sign off on these? How come we haven't got anything?
This is in the second ward, I believe.
What's in your ward?
Yeah, did I sign this?
I apologize.
Is there any further discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Next, we have an ordinance authorizing the purchase of real estate from Hae-Jing Lin, located 1839 May Road, whereas the City of Peru desires to purchase real estate located 1839 May Road, Peru, Illinois, legally described as Lot 2 in the re-subdivision of Lots 2 and 3 of Lucas Enterprise Subdivision in the City of Peru. The property is owned by Hae-Jing Ling, and whereas the City and Ling, subject to City Council approval, entered into a contract dated August 5, 2013 for the purchase of the property by the City. Whereas acquisition of the property by the City will facilitate ingress and egress to the City-owned real estate located 1840 May Road, which is the King's Inn property. B, substantially increase the value of both the property and the City-owned property at 1840 May Road for subsequent sale and development. Remove a blighting influence on the City after the building thereon is raised. Enhance the value of surrounding real estate, which would be a benefit to the City. Increase hotel motel tax to the City by increasing the attractiveness of area motels, and increase economic development in the City. Whereas the acquisition of property by the City is a matter pertaining to government affairs of the City is a proper public purpose. It's in the best interest of the City and promotes the general welfare of the City. Now therefore be it ordained the City Council of the City finds its facts recitals here and before set forth. The execution of the contract by the mayor for on behalf of the city is hereby approved and ratified, and subject to a satisfactory environmental report on the property, the mayor and city clerk and each of them for and behalf of the city are authorized and directed to perform all acts and do all things under the contract necessary to acquire the property from Lynn. Ordinance shall be in full force and effect immediately from and after its passage and approval. And that contract is subject to any inspections the city desires. But under the contract, the seller would have to be given notice on or before, I believe it's September 5, that any of those, the city found any of those inspections to be unsatisfactory. Otherwise, they're deemed waived. So it'd be important that those any assessments of the property that need to be done as soon as possible.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion that the ordinance be adopted as written and read.
Second.
Have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke, to adopt the ordinance as written and read. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor, I'd just like to say that this is a positive development for the city, quite obviously. The city will have control of it, and it will open up more lines for development into that area. So certainly it's a positive step for our future in North Peru.
Yeah, and this is good. We need to act on this. We have been saving hotel motel money for several years now, and you can back me up, but I think we're somewhere in the ballpark of $700,000 in the hotel motel tax fund. And if you really need any proof that property values in that area are dropping, the proof is that this property only a few years ago was sold for $65,000, and now we're purchasing it for I believe $35,000. So I mean, we really need to do something, because if we don't act in another 5 years, it'll be worth $20,000 or $15,000, and the surrounding property is going the same way. So it is time to do something, and this is the right thing to do.
Yes, I should have mentioned that the city's purchase cost of the property is $35,000. The property was purchased by Mr. Lynn from Harold and Linda Lucas on February 10, 2011 for $65,000.
So there you go. In 2 years, the property value's almost been cut in half. So we need to do something up there. It's been going that way too long for, I don't know, 10, 20 years at least.
Well, I oppose the King's Inn purchase, and I'm also going to oppose this purchase of the banquet portion of that land, and I'll explain why. After it's all said and done with the purchase, asbestos remediation, engineering costs, and demolition, we could very well be looking at, and it'll be close to $500,000. Previous land sold over the past few years within that same area sold between $20,000 to $25,000 per acre. If the land were the banquet center in a King's Inn sets, 3 acres, we're looking at about $75,000 that we would end up selling that land for once it's flattened, once it's raised. If we shoot high and let's say we sell all 3 acres for $150,000, we're still going to be out approximately $350,000 if we're looking at about $500,000 after we purchase and demolish and asbestos and all the other costs that are incurred there. My solution would be to take that land and push a little bit harder with realtors and investors to purchase and raise it. I believe if we're a little bit more aggressive, that we could get rid of that property. And I know that we purchased the Kings Inn portion already, but we have not demolished it. And I know the council is going to move forward and purchase the banquet center part of it. But I believe that if we were to own both of those properties and not raise them and sell them for even $1 to a good investor, that we would save a tremendous amount of money by working with them with the TIF and the enterprise, the TIF fund or the TIF increment program that we have in place, and they would end up getting their money back through demolition and all that. So, you know, it would be a lot of money, you know, the city would save by not having to go through all that and demolish that property. And we allow another company or an investor to take that on instead of the city. The city hasn't purchased the Howard Johnsons nor the Crazy D's, and that is moving forward with demolition. And the Howard Johnsons is hopefully sold. I believe it is, but I guess there's still some things up in the air there. I haven't had an update on that lately. So I believe that a municipality taking that on is kind of irresponsible, and don't believe that we should be making that purchase. That's my thought on it. So I'll be voting no for that purchase.
I respect your thoughts on that, Alderman Perez, but that same thought hasn't worked for the last 20 years for that piece of property. And nothing by remarketing it outside the city would make me think that it's going to be a proven commodity for development right away. So I think it's important that the city takes an aggressive approach. The city determines its own development and works with that, and I think you'll see a much quicker and a much more positive approach as opposed to remarketing it with another agent.
Here's what will happen if we do that. Someone will buy it, they will sit on it, do nothing with it for another 5 years, and we'll be having the same conversation, or 8 different people will be having the same conversation 10 years from now, because this conversation's been going on for 10 or 20 years. So
I just can't see, I mean, we're going to lose a tremendous amount of money. I mean, $350,000 is right in the, I mean, there's nothing, that's not a blown out figure. That's something that we're going to be losing. And I believe that, you know, if we push this, I don't believe we have. I don't even know if it's on our economic development website. I haven't seen it on there. Coldwell Banker tried selling that banquet center just for a few months now. I don't believe that we've been aggressive enough trying to get rid of that property, and should take that opportunity to try to push that a little bit harder than what we have.
Well, to get rid of it, we would have to own it. So we don't own it until now.
That's what I'm saying. I have no problem if we were to purchase it. It's raising it and putting all that money into it is where we're going to lose. I mean, if we purchase that property, turn around and sell it to a good investor for $1 and then let him demolish it. We demolish it, we're not going to get our money back. They will. So that's all I have.
There are municipalities all over the state that are giving property to developers to come in to develop, and I don't see selling it with bad buildings and rotted buildings on there for them to demolish. I don't see that it's happening. I mean, it's been 20 years.
Anybody else? Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Radke to approve the ordinance as written and read. There's no further discussion. We'll have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
Aye.
Motion approved.
Normally don't say anything, but now after the vote's taken, I would just like to make one comment. Just to give a historical perspective. We used to have No Saloon. Originally, it was a very nice restaurant when Frankie Little ran it. And after that, it became a motorcycle club and hangout, and it went continually downhill. We had Josie's Tavern, nothing wrong with the tavern, but all the sewage from that tavern went straight into the basement. Isn't that right, Gary? There was no sewer connection for all those years. We used to have Happy Corner Tavern. Well, a lot of us may have a lot of fond memories at Happy Corner, but the fact of the matter is all the lead paint and everything was falling off the walls, and it wasn't maintained for years. Then we had the Vogue dress shop that Bernardi's owned that wasn't used for years. But right next to that was the Ted Dawson apartment building that was rat infested, if you remember. And just where all those properties are now, you have Dr. Ludford's office, you have Dr. Finkelstein's office, you have Dr. Cerise's office, and you have Dr. Kinsella's office. And I would just suggest anyone coming into town, or those of us that have lived in the area our entire lives, you know, it's nice to see those developments other than what would have been. And that cost the city a lot of money then. And the decision that was made back then is that the city needed to do something with the downtown. And I think looking at other downtowns in the area, and frankly, most areas throughout the state, I think that was a very wise decision. But it costs money to acquire those properties. It costs money to raise those properties. And all those properties were sold based on the value of the underlying real estate at $5 a square foot back then, as determined by Mike Crowley, Sr. But if it wasn't for the aggressive action of that time then, and I say that because Frank Sadowski and Jack O'Byrne and others were on the council then, and they made that decision. Just like the decision was made by their predecessors to extend water and sewer that now has the Prue Mall. None of the development would have been up north. And since I'm older and been around more than most, I think it's important to look at that historical development. And you have to go out and do something if anything's going to happen. Otherwise, you're just going to sit and die. And it's an embarrassment to me to live in the town, to have the entrance at 251 that we have. And I thank the council for taking an aggressive approach to do something about it.
Okay, do you have any other ordinances?
Yes, next we have an ordinance authorizing the sale of real estate at 1515 Water Street. There are three ways a municipality can sell real estate, okay? One is to advertise for bids and then seek bids, and that's published in the newspaper, and then you just receive those bids. Another is to pass resolution or ordinance, either one, authorizing the sale of that real estate at a price not less than 80% of the appraised value of that real estate as determined by an MAI. MAI is just a member of the American Institute. There are no MAIs locally, nor have there ever been. The closest one over the years was Walt Stoudermeyer, who's been dead for 2 decades in Bloomington. Otherwise, you're looking up the collar counties to have an MAI. Or a state-certified appraiser. Obviously, you have a number of those appraisers locally. And the third way that the city could sell real estate is through home rule powers. The way it was handled with respect to the downtown redevelopment, approved by all the major title companies, incidentally, First American, Chicago Title, and Attorney's Title, was through those home rule powers. You also had certain powers because all the downtown was developed pursuant to the Redevelopment Act. But the title companies approved all those. On this year, there is an ambiguity in the statute, and actually Alderman Perez pointed that out before the meeting, concerning the second method that I discussed, and that was the sale of the property pursuant to not less than 80% of the value as determined by a state-certified appraiser. And I think the statute, you could either authorize that sale now and then authorize the mayor to do it, because it says you can have the staff do it. Or, and I think Rodney's point is well taken, you could authorize the sale, that it's going to be sold pursuant to that method, publish the resolution first, receive what you're going to receive on it, and then go ahead and sell it to a proposal that you find to be in the best interest of the city. In either case, you incur the publication cost one time, which is a lot cheaper than just going out and seeking bids. So just talking to the committee and that, we just changed this to authorize the sale of the property. You have one proposal, but to receive proposals, and then at the next city council meeting, the city council can determine which proposal received, if there is more than one received, is determined to be in the best interest of the city, and proceed accordingly. Whereas the city owns the property at 1515 Water Street, which is the west 23 feet of Lot 9 and Block 153 in Mineral Addition of the City of Peru. Property is not useful or profitable to the city and is an expense to the city to maintain. Whereas the property has been appraised by James R. Blades, SRA, State of Illinois, Certified Appraiser number 553-000554 for $15,000, which appraisal is on file in the office of the Peru City Clerk for public inspection. And whereas the city desires that any purchaser of the property use it for commercial purposes, operate a retail establishment thereon, and tuck point and maintain the east wall of the building on the property, all of which would be a benefit to the city. That was my main concern, and I spoke with Tim Harris at Chamlin, because when you have flood proofing, the east wall of that building is the west open area where the city has all the electrical equipment, transformers, whatever. So, and the front portion of the city property has that high concrete retaining wall, and that's a big concern. And along the east side of that building, there's a riprap to maintain the structural integrity, hopefully, of the east wall of this building, which is, as you know, is the former ESDA building. So I think any proposal received, and there is an easement in there because there was a building up there, and there is a, which will extinguish, but there was a common stairway easement between this building and the city's vacant area to the east of it. So we'll terminate that easement, obviously. That's not needed. We don't want that easement to be an encumbrance on the property. But more importantly, I think the integrity of that wall, one, needs to be maintained so the property isn't subsequently raised, because then you would have open area for infiltration from the river in the event of flood events. So I think that's probably even more important than price, to be honest about it. Whereas the sale of the property will provide needed revenue to the city, will increase the economic development of the city, will promote the employment of residents of the city, will increase tax base of the city, and will promote development along the Illinois River, all of which objectives pertain to the government affairs of the city. Whereas the property is a parcel of real estate approximately 23 feet by 108 feet, containing now this is real estate, only contains 2,484 square feet. It's own M2 manufacturing district under city zoning ordinance. And whereas it is advisable the property be sold with the aforesaid restrictions for not less than the appraised price and placed in the real estate assessment rolls of the property, and sale of the property is a matter pertaining to the government affairs of the city, is proper public purpose, and promotes the general welfare of the city. Now therefore be resolved, City Council of the city finds its facts recitals here and before set forth. The mayor, for on behalf of the city, is hereby authorized to receive bids and or proposals for the property and present to the city council at the next regular city council meeting for sale to a purchaser who presents a proposal for the property that the city council finds to be in the best interest of the city. This resolution shall be published immediately from and after its passage and approval.
Corporate counsel?
There is a proposed purchaser, it's shown on the agenda, and he wants to put a gourmet burger shop in that property, frankly. And he's also trying to acquire the property between Brandy's. Incidentally, I don't know Mr. Rice nor his wife. I've never met him, but he's trying to acquire the property in between too for an ice cream shop, which frankly I think would be a great development of the Water Street area.
Corporate counsel, just a question on that. Just to clarify that, that would be posted, or that would be, it would be something in the paper, published, and if somebody wanted to come forward within the next week and make another offer, that opportunity's there?
Yes.
Okay.
And then the council consider it next Wednesday. So you said you have somebody that might be interested, go and get them and make a proposal to the city. All my suggestion to the city is that important considerations are going to be the integrity of the east wall of that property. And, you know, it would be nice to get another retail establishment down there just to generate the sales tax revenue, and I think it would be a big step towards the, you know, beautification, frankly, of Water Street.
Yeah, I think one of the most important thing, again, is the potential or the plan that's laid out to the city. You know, I think if the city takes an appraisal price that is a few dollars more and that individual uses it for storage, I think the city's right back where it started from. So at least myself and what we've discussed before is that the plan does have a revenue stream for the city or some positive development around Water Street. I think that's even more important to me than a few dollars on an appraisal price.
Well, again, too, this is kind of like going back to the flower beds and that. I mean, we've got a price. The people offered a price. Now somebody can come in and bid $1 higher than them and get this building. I just don't think this procedure's fair.
It'll be your choice. You don't have to take the lowest or the highest. You have to take what's best in the best interest.
All you have to do is take not less than 80% of the appraised value. So,
Has there been a bid submitted?
This was for the appraisal price plus the cost of the appraisal.
No, it was $1,000 over the appraised price. There was one submitted. I mean, that person can change his proposal too. So.
Yeah, well, that's
and basically this is
the
just
point on.
Right, someone an opportunity, because I did receive a call today from a gentleman that saw it on the agenda that wanted to possibly inquire on that property and wanted that opportunity. And I think it's only fair that, you know, we give that opportunity. And if it's for a week, it's for a week, but, you know, it is a public property, and if somebody wants to purchase it, of course I wouldn't want to see a storage facility going there. I'd love burgers, and I'd rather eat burgers, and it would be a nice little addition to Water Street. But I think to be fair to the public, we need to take that step and just allow that little extra time to give somebody an opportunity. And it would be in our hands. I mean, we don't have to approve somebody to come in there and put something that we wouldn't want. We wouldn't want a tarot card reader or a massage parlor in there. We could adjust our ordinance accordingly to that. I'd much rather have a burger shop in there than a massage parlor any day. So.
Well, and you also have the option that person who did put a bid that withdraws the bid and puts in a lower price. So.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the resolution authorizing the sale of real estate at 1515 Water Street, Peru?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
A motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Perez to pass a resolution authorizing the sale of real estate at 1515 Water Street, Peru. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call vote. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Putoff.
Aye.
Ferrari.
Aye.
Waldorf.
Aye.
Perez.
Aye.
Radke.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Sapienza.
The resolution is approved.
The next matter, I would have a conflict on. I represent the proposed purchaser of the lot next to the east of the Peter Mine resident. So, Frank, I don't know what was finally determined on that. Okay. All right. So Attorney John Brandt represents Mr. Mine. He filed a petition.
So do we need
So we have to refer it to the Zoning Board of Appeals and Plan Commission. There's frankly some dispute about that because it was divided in 1993 and the subdivision ordinance was 1995, but I'm staying out of it. So Mr. Mine's upset about incurring the extra expense. No, sir. No, you're going to have to appoint independent counsel.
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion we hire Herb Klein.
Okay.
Have to get on the agenda.
No, the point well taken. We'll have to put it on the agenda for next week. Well, we need it.
Well, it's on but the petition was filed, so you would just refer it to the Plan Commission
I'll make that
and
motion.
Zoning Board of Appeals.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Perez for the ordinance granting administration variance as requested by Peter Mine for property located at 2201 Elmwood Road, receive and turn over to Planning and Zoning for review and recommendation.
it's difficult to tell, but it was Alderman Mueller that seconded, not Alderman Perez.
Sorry.
Alderman Ferrari and Alderman Mueller. Is there any discussion? Have a roll call. Well, we don't need that. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried.
We have a council resolution of support. Whereas the city of Peru is applying to the Illinois Department of Transportation for a Transportation Enhancement Program grant to construct an off-road shared use path and on-road bicycle trail route to provide for safer and easier pedestrian and bicyclist access throughout the city. Whereas it is necessary that an application be made and an agreement be entered into with the state of Illinois. Now, therefore, be it resolved as follows, that the city of Peru apply for the grant under the terms and conditions of the state of Illinois and shall enter into and agree to the understandings and assurances contained in said application. The city of Peru commits to providing the necessary funds to complete the project should the project be approved, understanding that it is in a reimbursement program that reimburses up to 50% for right-of-way and easements and up to 80% for preliminary engineering, utility relocation, construction engineer, and construction cost. That the mayor and city clerk on behalf of the city execute such documents and all other documents necessary for the carrying out of said application, and that the mayor and city clerk are authorized to provide such additional information as may be required to accomplish the obtaining of such grant.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion that we accept and support the resolution as written and read.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Radke to accept and approve the resolution as written and read. Is there any discussion?
Are there any dollar figures?
That was the program that was outlined a couple of weeks ago by Mike Perry from Chamlin and Associates. This shared use path. I don't recall what the dollar figures were on that, Mike, do you? No. This commitment resolution, yes.
Okay, is there any other questions? It was in the $900,000 range, and if we did it with the bridge itself was 1.3, 1.5, it was around $3 million. But we're not going to do the bridge, but it was in the $900,000 range, so $450,000.
With this resolution, are we required to stamp it and move ahead with it, or is it a preliminary?
This is the only way that you can apply for the grant. Just showing that you have the backing of the city of Peru. It's the only way that you can apply for the grant. Now, providing if you do receive the grant and if you do not exercise it, it will be very difficult to receive another grant in the future.
So there's possibilities that we're gonna be liable for $900,000?
Half.
And do we have that money budgeted?
It won't happen this year. You have to budget for next year. If you see that you receive the grant, you can budget for next year. Make your decision then. Once again, you don't have any chance at the grant unless you pass this now.
Well, there again, Your Honor, I'm looking at the pool. We had a meeting earlier, you know, and they're looking for, and we're looking at a bike path willing to match a grant, and I don't know. I just can't support this if we're not willing to match a grant with the pool.
That $400,000 could go to a pool. You're right, absolutely.
Why don't we just table it and I'll get
Yeah.
some more detailed financial figures to see what the total exposure is if we were awarded the grant, and that, you gotta have that to make the decision, right?
You passed it 2 weeks ago to send in the grant application. That's done. You did it for Wenzel Road extension from Peoria Street to Plank Road for, oh, that was a couple $2.5 million, something like that. And then you passed to send it in to see if you could get the grant for this. So that was passed, so we'll have to pull that. If it does not pass at this time, we'll have to pull it out of the running.
The grant application is sent in.
We passed it on the council floor 2 weeks ago. I could pull the old agendas out. I don't have them in front of me.
The grant
If
application
we were
is mailed?
electronic, we could pull that out. Yes, they're in. Okay. We have a motion and a second, so we'll vote on it. Motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Radke.
I mean, it sounds like we need a little more time, so, I mean, I can amend that, or I'll make a subsidiary motion to table it till next week.
Second.
That's fine. Okay, we'll table it. Okay, unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business?
Your Honor, has anyone taken a moment to introduce the new city engineer, Sean Mikas? He's right there in the blue and white striped shirt. Sean was hired a couple of weeks ago, and I believe started a couple of weeks ago, right? Last Monday, okay. So that's Sean, and he'll be a familiar face around here. I just wanted to introduce him to the public.
Welcome.
Anything else under unfinished business? New business. Do we have any new business?
Your Honor, I'd like to see if we could possibly change our communications up a little bit. Whatever needs to be done to make it happen, whether it's certain individuals from our clerk's office making communications with the council regarding meetings. There was a meeting last week, closed session, that I was not notified on, and it was a closed session that I very well would have wanted to be.
Alderman Radke, did you not inform Alderman Perez of that meeting?
I did.
When?
The same day that I informed him.
I have not received any notification. Why would you, how did you contact, how did you notify me?
It was posted. It was a
yeah.
Public Works meeting posted.
There was a Public Works meeting posted when? I don't,
48 hours previous.
Before that
okay, let me ask you a question then. Do you expect an alderman to get on the website every day to see if there's a certain special meeting posted?
Alderman Radke notified you of that meeting.
I have not received, how did you notify me? A text?
Yeah, that's that thing that you punch the little lettering things on your phone.
So, okay, well, maybe this is my point, how we change up communications, because
It was posted. It was on the website. It was posted. It was on the board, like every other meeting
The
is.
agenda is posted, and the agenda said there was a closed session.
I was not notified of that meeting.
And you were sent a text.
Here is my last,
Did your number change?
no, last text I received was on May 2nd, from Mike Radke. I mean, that's,
I see it.
Well, we're sorry.
well, this isn't the first time, and it's not the second time. This is actually the third time. There's been emails that I've been left out on. We need to do something with our communications. This is the third time that I've been left out of communications, and we need to change something up. So whether it's our meetings are being sent to us, or communications being sent to us in a certain way, it needs to be done that way, because I've been elected to take care of city issues, and if this was the first time and it was an error, that's one thing, but this is the third.
Well, we all know why you were elected, but you were notified of that meeting. You send texts to people, people send texts to you that you get all the time. And that was sent to you in good faith. And
Alderman
bring this
Radke.
up on the floor to make it sound like this was intentional is baloney. So just,
May 2nd was the last text message I
I'm
received.
telling
I'm
you
not going to argue with
that we
you.
intended for you to be at that meeting and wanted you to be at that meeting.
Alderman Perez, I'll establish a policy
you.
that all
Thank you.
aldermen be emailed on every meeting.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
that's email though, that could get lost.
Well, we're pretty thorough with the email. We can make that happen. It's reasonable.
And Alderman should
And I
have
can
to
do
go
it.
on the website every day to see if there's a special meeting posted for 48 hours in advance.
And I do apologize, because you and I have communicated about things in the past this way.
Right.
I just.
I don't have it, and I showed you.
Well, I'm sorry, because I did send it to you. It's right here. You can see it.
And Clerk Bartley, if I could make a suggestion
You want me to show you
that
some malicious?
we use the city
You want me to show you
email
some malicious?
system instead of private emails, that we use
Look at that email, see if my name's on
the
there.
city email system to communicate with one another.
Everybody's email.
Happy
name's
to.
on there except for mine. Yes, see, there you go. Let's change the way we do things.
That's fine.
That's all I have.
That's fine with me, but you're acting like it's malicious,
I just showed
and
you.
it's not.
Drop it.
Okay, any other new business? Proclamations.
Well, I do have one little bit of quick new business on a lighter note. The pool, Friends of the Prue Pool met today, but earlier this week and last week they had worked on developing a website, and the Friends of the Prue website is now live, and it's linked up to the City of Prue's website on its main page, and it's a basic site, but it has some nice information, some pictures, and some historical articles from when the original pool was built, and a link for people that are interested in donating to the pool to be able to go on and get all the necessary information, and it's very prominently displayed on the city's website now.
Petitions, communications.
I have a couple late entries for 5Ks here. One of them is the city's own Run for the Rec. On behalf of Recreation Director Linda Kasich, Dave is attached as the route for this year's 5K race on Saturday, August 24th, starting at 8 a.m., asking for permission to post a couple of police officers, and other volunteers will be posted at the other spots, and that's for this next Saturday, August 24th at 8 a.m., and that starts at Parkside School. I did consult with Deputy Chief Pishka regarding this, and the department's done it the last couple of years, and it shouldn't be a problem.
Do we have the motion to receive the communication and grant permission for the 5K race on Saturday, August 24th, starting at 8 a.m.?
So moved, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Putoff, second by Alderman Mueller, to receive the communication, grant permission for the 5K race on August 24th, starting at 8 a.m. All in favor, signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
And we have another 5K race for LaSalle Prue High School for October the 6th on a 5K. That's at 8:30 a.m. And it's a part of a fundraising effort for the freshman transition program. That's on the streets. I have a route here. I can forward it along to the police department.
Okay, do we have a motion to receive the communication, grant permission for the October 6th 5K run for LaSalle Prue High School?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second, Your Honor.
I have a motion by Alderman Waldorf, second by Alderman Putoff, to receive the communication and grant permission for the 5K run for LP High School. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Any further petitions, communications?
No, Your Honor.
One thing, Your Honor, under unfinished, probably Maud Powell this Saturday, clerk, is it?
The Maud Powell celebration is this weekend, starting on Friday night at the Maud Powell Plaza on Route 6 with the municipal band performing. And then the next morning here at the municipal building, we'll have the children's events and the setup of the arts program. And Saturday evening will be the Maud Powell celebration here in the municipal building parking lot, in and out.
Okay, any public comment? Do we have any public comment? Approach the podium, please. No, you need the microphone.
My name is Christy Mrowicki.
Talk into the microphone so that it can be recorded, Christy.
My name is Christy Mrowicki for the aldermen who don't know me. And I have some questions on the concert. I'm curious why we hadn't received payment yet. Anybody know?
Once again, this is public comment. This is not question and answer. We'll provide all the information for you that you've already asked for when it's prepared.
Okay, well, I don't have the opportunity to be around the city attorney, so that's why I asked the question. My other comments are the fact that the event promoter, from what the Illinois Liquor Commission says when she submits the application, she is actually not the owner of Luz Logrado, that Miss Yankee is actually the owner of Luz Logrado, and I'm just curious if we've ever checked into that. That's how it's submitted on the Liquor Commission application. So I would like the city to check into that to see who the owner is of Luz Logrado, or if it's Miss Yankee or Ms. Noonan. And if there seems to be a little bit of confusion here. Can anybody have a concert at the airport? That's what I would like to know, and I'll put it all in nice correspondence like I do to the city. But I have some friends who'd like to also throw a concert, and we are thinking, since this is a great venue, what are the requirements to have a concert up at the airport? Especially if Miss Noonan does not have ownership in Luz Logrado and she is just the promoter.
Is that your comment?
Yes, that's one of the comments. Now my other comment, because I still have my couple minutes, is I'm just curious if there's any type of liability or if the city's going to be changing any of the boards due to the new circumstances that have arisen with Mr. Beterstead losing his license. Does that have any type of problems with the city and the type of boards that he serves on, and if there's going to be any type of openings? That's all.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other public comment? Any other public comment? Okay. We have a motion for adjournment?
So moved, Your Honor.
Second that, Your Honor.
We have a motion by Alderman Ferrari, second by Alderman Sapienza for adjournment. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Meeting adjourned.